In our next story, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has approved 4,794 land titles be taken back due to non-payment of ground rent for over 40 years. Now, according to FCTA officials, over 8,000 property owners in prime areas like Garki, Wuse, Asokoro, Maitama and Guzape have failed to pay their dues in 43 years, despite repeated warnings from the FCTA. They've made public notices since 2023, and they've urged defaulters to settle their debts, but compliance remained unfortunately low. Now, a final 21-day grace period has now been granted to those owing for 1 to 10 years, after which their land titles will also be revoked by the state. We have real estate title owners who have held on to prime real estate for decades. If you're going to be a landowner, it comes with financial obligations and financial responsibilities. And you're depriving the government of prime real estate they could be using for infrastructure and local development. But let's take a look at social media. Wike takes a hard stance per usual. Jeremiah says, El Rufai did more than Wike. He demolished people's homes. Till date, some families haven't recovered from that shock. The psychologist says, what does he mean by ground rent? Calling it land tax is understandable, and revoking titles is not the way to go about it if the lands are not leased by the government. It is a wrong judgment to such issues. Why not just fine them? Cutting corners to take people's land forcefully is wrong. In our final story in international news, Rwanda has given Belgian diplomats 48 hours to leave the country, and it's broken its diplomatic ties with Belgium. The Rwandan government says that Belgium has been undermining its peace effort in the region, especially in the ongoing conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Belgium has been one of the loudest voices in pushing the European sanctions against Rwanda, accusing the country of backing the war in Congo, as well as supporting M23 rebels who are fighting in Congo. Now, Belgium, which once ruled Rwanda as a colony, has called the decision disproportionate and promised to react. This is very interesting. It's interesting to see colonizers, colonialists, who actually pillaged and conquered and sponsored wars for years in African countries, decades later come out to condemn this very same behavior. But the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations says that a country has the right to eject any foreign diplomat at any point and declare them persona non grata or unwelcome. So Kagame is well within the rights, although some are arguing that he should have taken a more diplomatic approach to this. But let's take a look at social media. Andy says, everyone is waking up except Nigerians. And Ben says, this is the mentality of a leader who can lead Africa out of this colonialism and imperialism mindset. Before I take this to Etoma and Ibrahim, I'd like to ask you guys to please chime in on this conversation. Do you have an interesting perspective you'd like to share with us? Please tag us with the hashtag TrendingNowTVC on any social media platform. I promise that we are listening. Ibrahim and Etoma, we are seeing Paul Kagame take a very hard stance. In recent times, we've also seen the president of Burkina Faso, take a hard stance on foreign involvement in his country.
I think it's only responsible that you do things like that. For Belgium, yes, you colonized Rwanda during the genocide. What did you do? What was your contribution? So why are you criticizing that country right now? It's a sovereign country with all organs of government in place, and it's a country that has recorded so much gains in the health sector, in infrastructure, and so on. It's a full-fledged country. And you, the former colonizer, that did not do anything in their time of need, you are now pointing fingers. I support what the president of Rwanda did completely.
Well, it's actually a complex, the crisis in DRC is actually a complex one, because with a lot of, forth and back claims, counterclaims, and all of that, seeing what Rwanda has done, to the Belgium, this is another turn, another complex dynamic to the Rwanda-Belgium relations. How Belgium is going to react or respond remains to be seen. But if an African nation is taking a stand, a strong stance against the former colonial government, we are not seeing this for the first time. We've also seen it in Niger, seeing it in Burkina Faso, who chased the France away. Like, listen, fine, you are our former colonial masters, but you are doing bad on our soil, so we do not want to have anything to do with you, so we want to sever relations. But one way or the other, they're still relating, and Russia is trying to come in. So, but if Rwanda has done this, let's see how Belgium is going to respond. But DRC, you know, that counterclaims, they have natural resources, mineral resources, cobalt, gold, diamond. So it's all scramble for who takes what out of this. So we hope that that crisis in the DRC, Sudan, and some other, you know, countries comes to a halt as soon as possible.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Atoma, I'd like you to quickly touch on this Wike land issue. He's revoking these land titles. Imagine land being in your family for years, but due to inflation costs of everything, you can't keep up with the payments. And now this land is going to leave your family, or, you know, what do you expect these owners to do? Are they well within their rights to sue? What do you guys think?
Personally, I don't think they are within their rights to sue, because it is constitutional for you to pay ground rent, as he called it. You know, it's constitutional, and it has not been paid for 40 years and above. 40 years.
It's a long time.
Yes, it's a very long time. So I think the landowners have been given, how do I say it, a soft landing for a very long time. They've been contacted, they've been written to, all avenues have been exhausted.
That's right.
And it takes a man like Wike to now say, look, we've had enough. We've had enough, and this is what I'm going to do.
The issue will now be seeing if the government actually uses that land for themselves, or if it's going to, you know, be...
Well, government owns all the lands, and you know, one way or the other, they have a way of revoking license or ownership of certain lands if there is defaulted. So I believe that everyone should explore all available legal means that they have to ensure that whether they want to salvage what belongs to their own father or their ancestral home, or maybe cede it to the government. But the right thing must be done. We expect that the FCT minister would always do the right thing, and the people whose owners is on to ensure that they develop their lands do the right thing as well.
For me, I would like to leave a piece of advice for the landowners. Don't go fighting, you know, go negotiating.
Who do they want to fight? Who fights government and wins?
Go negotiating.
There's one thing people in Nigeria will fight about is their land. They don't play with their real estate.
Yes, I know. But if you're fighting because you have a chance to win, it makes sense. But when you're fighting when you don't have a chance to win, it doesn't make any sense. So go negotiating. Look, I'm going to pay this thing within this period of time, and so on, and see if government will now say, okay, that's a good idea.
Minister Nyesom Wike has a lot of battles.
He's possibly saved us from several wicked landlords.
Minister Nyesom Wike has a lot of battles right in front of him. So as he's fighting one in River State, he's also having another in the FCT.
I think he
wish him
thrives in battles. Okay. All right. Back to you, Mama. All right. Let's tell you that the views and reactions of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. That's the package for today. My name is Etomedu. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow.